Okay, so hello everyone. Today I have with me Senga, who is one of the past students, graduates of my metabolic reset program UNDIET. And Senga is here today to tell us a little bit about her experiences with the program, what sort of changes she's noticed, what was her experience going through it. So hopefully you can see it as a little bit of an inspiration for your own journey and possibly also starting this process with me. So welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, hello. So happy that you're here with us. So maybe you can start with just telling us a little bit more about yourself, your
Mhm,
story, what brought you here, what happened before on diet,
mhm.
to get started with the program.
Yeah, of course. So I first of all was diagnosed last year with subclinical hypothyroidism. I think I said that right. So I did a private test myself at home because I knew something wasn't right. So I did that, and that's what came back. So I went to the doctors, was put on 50 milligrams of levo, and because I had quite a lot of symptoms at the time as well. Really heavy and sore periods is probably the biggest thing for me. That was what made me get a test done in the first place. So that weight gain, brain fog, fatigue, hair loss, sleep was atrocious. Like it would take ages to fall asleep, and then I would be waking up through the night as well. So when I woke up in the morning, I was always so tired. I had no energy. No matter how much sleep I tried to get, it never really worked. So I was always really tired. And it was last year, I was on my honeymoon in October, and I was just flicking through because I knew medication is not going to be the only thing that's going to help. So, and that's when I found yourself on Instagram. So I was looking into that and I found out more about the condition, about Hashimoto's. So I did a test for that and it came back that I had Hashimoto's. So went back to the doctors at that time. It was probably the end of last year, start of this year. My symptoms had worsened as well. So my level got upped again.
Yeah.
So everything at first my medication kind of leveled everything out, but then it started going backwards again. So got put up my level, and then yeah, so I really just wanted to dig in deeper and find out like what else I could do myself because I knew that medication isn't the only thing. I knew there was other things I could do. So that's really what I wanted to do is find out what can I do.
Yeah, exactly. And there's been obviously various different symptoms. What drew you to Undiet in particular? Because it is very different to my. Have you done any of the other
I
courses?
have actually, yeah. So I think the first one I did was thyroid cam, I want to say. So I've done
Yeah.
thyroid cam, I've done thyroid fundamentals. I also did the Hashimoto's masterclass. So that was last year. That's when I found out, right, I need to find out if that's what I have. So I had done those courses with you already previously. Undiet really drew me because I've always been somebody who does a lot of working out.
Mm.
Lots of gym. I love going to classes. I've done pole classes, Bokla classes, Zumba, spin, lots of different kind of things. I was terrible because I used to do like two, three classes back to back in one night as well. So although I would say I would probably been at the gym 4 or 5 times a week, but I was doing like two, three classes
Oh my
while
God.
I was there as well. So I was there all the time. Really restrictive diets as well, like counting calories. I've just recently thrown them out. I had kitchen scales that I used to measure everything so that I was counting everything all the time. I had a PT for a while as well. That was just before COVID. So I had a PT and I remember getting weighed at the start. And I remember at one point weighing myself maybe 6 months into it and I'd put on weight and I was mortified, really. I was like, I couldn't believe that my weight had gone up when I'd been doing all this hard work for it to come down. And I was like, what? I don't understand why is it not working? Like it should be, I'm counting everything. Like I'm not eating things, I'm restricting my diet so much and working out so much and nothing was working. So I knew after my diagnosis, especially, I knew there was other things going on that nobody had ever spoke to me about before, and I hadn't really thought about. So I knew there was something else I needed to try to see what could help, basically. So that's when I found your Undiet course, and I thought, right, I've tried everything else before,
Yeah.
nothing's worked. So let's do this and see what this can change for me moving forward. So yeah, that's what happened.
And I think this is such a common scenario, right? Because a lot of
Mhm.
women that I work with, they also have tried everything. It's not like they do nothing, they don't exercise,
Yeah.
they eat, McDonald's 3 times a day. Like most people would be like already doing so much, yet not seeing the results. And why is that? And and this is where the whole undiet principles come in play, where you've got the hormones, but also you have the relationship with food, right? So
Mhm.
think that's quite unique in terms of the approach that we
Oh, definitely.
attack it from two very
Mhm.
different angles. So what sort of expectations did you have when you first started? Like, was it, because obviously you've done a little bit of work with me, so I presume you've already seen some good results.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wasn't really sure what it would be. I knew, as you said, I've done courses with you, so I knew it would be different than what I had tried before. So that's what really drew me to it. I did think there would be a bit of like still calorie counting or like checking like things like that, but it was nothing like that at all, which was really good for me because, well, good for everybody, I suppose. But yeah, it was totally different to what I expected. It's always been a very you need to eat less and move more thing that's been put on us all the time. And I think that puts a lot of blame on ourselves because we feel like we're not doing enough. Whereas this course really opened my eyes to actually it's not that at all. Like we're maybe, if anything, eating too less and moving too much. So it was really about changing our mindset as well. So I did know going into it was going to be different. So and then that's what really drew me to it as well.
Oh, that's great, because that was kind of, that is the idea behind undiet,
Mhm.
the undoing, the
Yeah.
working reverse engineering almost everything what we've been told, like everyone, like
Mhm.
myself, I've also have quite a long history of trying various diets and doing this and that to try to get to that ideal weight. And it's just like it's always the same, right? It works for a little bit and then
Mhm.
just go back to how it used to
Yeah.
be. And you start again, and then comes January,
Mhm.
starting again, and it's just a cycle.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
January as two main starts again and again. So tell me, when you first started, what were your first impressions of Undiet?
Um, so I honestly thought it felt like a breath of fresh air is probably the best way to describe it because again, it was something totally different to how we'd looked at things before. Anytime I've started like exercises or diets or anything, it's always looking into like how much I'm eating and how much I'm moving. It's nothing about what I'm eating, when I'm eating, anything like that. So it was really good to start looking into and your core values and things as well, like really looking at you as a person and what what your values are and things too, and how things make you feel. So moving through the course, I realised that food we use it quite a lot to make us feel a certain way when that's probably not the solution we should be looking at. It's other things. But nobody had ever spoke to me about things like that before. It's always been like, right, you're eating too much, so you need to eat less. You need to start exercising more. It was never looking at things and saying, right, your body needs this, so let's give your body this to nourish it so that it works better, things like that. And that's what I really loved as well. I never felt like I was restricting myself, which you feel quite a lot when you're on diets. You can't have this, you can't do that, you can't do this. Whereas with this, I never felt like that ever. Even when we did the sugar-free challenge, which I thought was going to be one of the hardest things for me because I am a chocoholic. I eat chocolate all the time. I thought that was going to be the hardest thing, but I actually felt like I wasn't restricting myself. So I managed to do the 10 days really well. Like I didn't feel like it was a struggle.
Yeah.
Because as I say, I felt like more like I was nourishing my body. So when I woke up in the morning, I was having breakfast, I was eating something because I knew that's going to be good for me for the rest of the day and that's going to keep me going till lunch. And so when I had my lunch, this is going to keep me going for the afternoon. And then same at dinner time, trying to have it that bit earlier as well, so that I knew that I was getting a good night's sleep that night too. It was more about looking after myself rather than taking away from myself as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I remember when you were going through the sugar-free challenge, and how
Hmm.
you're like you powered through it. It was
Oh
like
yeah,
very
I loved
positive,
it.
very positive experience. And I think this is one of the, I believe one of the main benefits is this empowerment, that actually
Hmm.
food is no longer controlling me, right?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I am in charge here. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's amazing. And when did you start noticing first improvements?
So that's a hard one to think of actually, because I think straight away, because I went in with a whole open mind, I felt like my mindset changed quite quickly into it. But I think really after the sugar-free challenge, everything else was starting to click into place as well. Like my
Mhm.
sleep was getting better, doing the morning routines, making sure I was having a breakfast in the morning as well. I always felt like I always skipped breakfast. It was never had it. I would wake up in the morning and felt quite sickly, still felt like I couldn't stomach anything. But actually doing the course and making myself get up earlier, giving myself the time so I'm not rushing either, so I can get time ready for work and having a breakfast before I went. I'd get my protein savoury breakfast in as well. I felt like my energy was so much better for the rest of the day as well. So I really noticed a difference after that. So I would probably say a couple of weeks into it, as I say, my mindset changed straight away. As soon as I started learning, like this isn't the same as a normal like diet or like exercise routine. This is something totally different. My mindset really clicked quickly. So I was really open to doing things like waking up in the morning, looking up into the sky. Like these are things that you're never taught about this kind of thing ever. And I tell my friends about that all the time. Anybody that I say, I'm like, yeah, you should get up in the morning, don't look at your phone, get outside, look at the sky, open your eyes. Like,
Yeah, no,
I'm
but
going to tell everybody, but it's amazing the difference that little things like that make. It's really, really good.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
because your body needs signals. Like if we just
Mhm.
constantly indoors, if we're living in this environment that is foreign to our bodies, this is not something that our bodies instinctively naturally know. Like if we don't give them those signals, like light, the hormones
Mhm.
that manage metabolism, our energy, they completely out of whack throughout the day. So people don't make the connection, but there is such a huge connection for like things that seemingly, are more to do with food, like an exercise, like
Mhm.
weight, but actually maybe nervous system regulation, maybe the gazing at the sky is making
Mhm.
a bigger difference, especially
Oh,
if it's
definitely.
quite, and dysregulated. Um,
Mhm.
so let's talk about the weight as well. So what have you
Mhm.
noticed weight loss
Oh,
journey?
absolutely. So after the sugar challenge was the biggest thing for me. I lost half a stone when I did the sugar challenge.
Yeah.
And as I said, I didn't feel like that was a struggle either. My body it's just started going down. Since then, since the course finished, I've done another sugar challenge again as
Uh,
well, which actually helped. My husband actually joined in as well because he'd seen such good results for me the first time. He wanted to try it too.
100%.
So both of us did it and lost, I think I lost about 4 pounds that time as well. The weight, so where I've done things before where I'd be on diets or working out, you see a difference straight away, but then it starts creeping up again. Well, this time I've lost weight and then it's still going down. Like it's never went back up again. It's
Okay.
still going down. There will be days where it maybe go up a pound or whatever, but it never like goes back up to what it was before. It's still steadily going down the right way, which is amazing. It's never done that. I
Mm.
can't even think the last time that's ever happened for me. Like I step on the scales and it's gone down. So it really did make a difference. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
and
good.
it without deprivation, right? Without
Mhm.
without
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of starving yourself
Yeah, I feel
or
like I've got so much energy too. I think before when you've been on diets, you feel tired and it's hard to think like, oh, I need to get to the gym. You're pushing yourself because you've no energy because you're restricting yourself so much. But
yeah.
on this, I was losing weight but feeling more energetic and feeling like I can go and do things. And actually at lunchtime being like, right, I'm going out for a walk now after eating and after work, even going for a little walk after my dinner as well, even if I'd been to the gym, like nothing pushing myself too much, but just I had that energy still in me to do that. Whereas
Yeah.
before, I remember like getting up in the morning being so tired and then waking up as I got to work, having lunch, and then feeling really sleepy again, and then
Yeah.
getting home, having a nap sometimes straight after work. Then I would get up and be like, right, I need to go to the gym. So forcing myself to go to the gym, and I'd had no nutrition before that. So then coming home and then having dinner at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and then going to bed tired, and it was just like an endless circle. Whereas now I feel like I get up in the morning, I'm getting up earlier than I did before, and I feel like I'm ready to get up. I've been noticing actually the last couple of weeks I'm waking up just before my alarm's going off as well. So I'm waking up ready to get up and I don't snooze. I used to snooze the alarm all the time as
Mhm.
well. But now I'm actually getting up as soon as that alarm goes off or just before it, I'm up, I get ready, I do my morning routine, I have my breakfast, I'm having a better morning as well. So I'm set up better for the day. I'm going into my work ready for the day as well. When I have my lunch, I'm not having that afternoon slump anymore. I've
Mm.
got the energy because I'm having more protein and things in my lunch. I feel like I've got energy for the rest of the day. I get home, I'm not having naps anymore. I can't remember the last time I did have a nap, which is amazing because I used to nap all the time. People knew if they couldn't get hold of me, I was probably having a nap.
Oh, that's very funny, but it's
But
very like
no,
not
it's
just you.
crazy.
Oh, it's very, very funny.
So like yeah, energy, and then when I get to about 10 o'clock at night, and that's me, I'm ready for bed now. Like my eyes are like, right, I'm going to bed. And
Mm.
that's me. I'm sleeping right through as well. Like I'm not waking up through the night. And I used to do that quite a lot too. So it's not just like looking after our weight and helping our nutrition. It's helping so much more out of it as well. It was really such a game changer for me, this course. Honestly, it's helped so much. It was really good.
Oh God, like that's amazing. Like it's amazing because it was the first, it was the first round of Undiet that I've had.
Mhm.
And I was kind of thinking to myself, I was a little but having that little internal battle, like, do I want to get into this whole subject of weight loss and relationship with food? What if people don't get enough benefit? And then stories
Mhm.
like yours, because you're not
Yeah,
the only student that had such
yeah.
results. And I'm just like, this is like there is so much power in that fairly short course, So
Hmm.
thank you so much
Definitely.
for sharing your story because that
Hmm.
is I think it's such a great message for everyone that
Mm.
you don't need to suffer through crazy diets and restrictions and crazy exercise whatever regimen and all of that
Hmm.
to see lasting change and that ripple effect, right, in the other
Hmm.
aspects of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
That's like that's what I'm getting from like speaking to you now, but also the messages that we've exchanged that it's just been like
Oh,
it
yeah,
changed up.
absolutely. Hmm.
So tell me what's been the most enjoyable, like when you went through the program, what did you really enjoy?
It's really hard to actually just pinpoint one or two things from the course. I love the course altogether, like the full thing made such a difference for me. I loved the guest speakers. I really loved doing that as well, like listening to, because again, it's looking at things through a different way. I've never went to like when I was seeing a PT that's one to one. You'd think there'd be more chat about why do you feel like you need to crave these things. Instead, it was just like you can't have that. So having the guest speakers actually talk to you and say, like, you're craving this bar of chocolate because that's what your body's used to, and looking at it a different way. I really enjoyed that. I love doing our wee tree of life as well. That was really good. I still look at that every now and then. I could
Oh,
have
that's
improved
such a great
my tree
experience.
drawing
Mm.
probably, but like just looking at things a totally different way really helped. I felt it felt really freeing as well. Like as I say before, it's always felt really restrictive, whereas this didn't feel like that. I felt like I was having food and looking at it a different way. It was more like we can enjoy our foods because that's what it's there for, rather than being like, no, I can't have that, no, I can't have that, and you're not having fun. Whereas now it's better. Like I'll go to events and you don't feel like, oh, I need to watch what I'm eating. Like
Mm.
you know what you can have, and yeah, so it's really hard to pinpoint just one thing. I felt like every part of the course linked to each other as well. Without one bit, I don't think another bit would have worked quite as well. So um, working on like the hormone balance and then insulin resistance and why we're craving certain foods, like it all clicked together and really helped overall for everything. Like you say, it's not just about losing weight, it's how
Mm.
you're feeling as well. Because I think everything else helps you to lose. It's almost like losing weight is like a byproduct of what you're actually doing, if that makes sense. Because like you've got more energy because you're sleeping better, you're not having energy slumps, so you're not reaching for that bar of chocolate in the afternoon. So you're nourishing your body, sorry, a lot better. You're looking after yourself better because you're not restricting yourself so much, so it doesn't feel like a punishment. It feels like you are having food because you enjoy it and you are allowed to nourish your body and look after it because it's getting you through everything that you do every day. So yeah, it is
I
hard
couldn't
to
say it any
pinpoint one
better.
thing.
You need to now replace me in my marketing. Because this was exactly literally everything that, I always say about, especially the byproduct, a
Hmm.
side effect of
Yeah.
everything that we're doing. And I think this is why I love the name UNDIET as well, because although it is essentially a weight loss program in a way,
Hmm.
but it's so much more than that. And the weight
Oh,
loss
absolutely.
is just a nice side effect. All right, but there must have been something that was challenging. What was challenging when you were going through the program?
I actually think so. It's to begin with, when I first seen what we were doing, I thought the sugar-free challenge was going to be the biggest thing. But I actually think when I think back when it was the mindful eating and
Huh?
learning when you were like full and when you were hungry, I think
Mm,
we've always been programmed to just eat everything that's on your plate. And even now, and probably if my husband's in charge of dinner, that's when I struggle the most because he likes a big plate. I think that's always something that it's really trying to unlearn that behavior, isn't it? Of like, I need to empty my plate. So I actually found that probably, I think because I did that first, it maybe helped me with the sugar-free challenge, to be fair, because I
that's
think
right.
because I
Yeah.
was doing other things, it meant it wasn't as hard. I think the timing of it was really good because you'd already done wee bits before that.
Mm,
Um, because I know that sugar-free chocolates, as soon as you say that, you're like, what? It's really difficult. But yeah, the mindful eating, and making sure that you're not eating with like distractions as well, like really
mm,
concentrating on what you're actually eating in front of you, not having the TV on, not looking at your phone. Like on my lunch break, I used to just sit and watch like TikToks or be on scrolling through Instagram while I'm eating my lunch. And so now I'm really concentrating on this is my food in front of me and having that first. So yeah, I think that was probably one of the biggest things for me. Trying to think what else. Breakfast as well
yeah, because
to
that was
start with.
not
Yeah.
easy, right? Because you said that
Hmm.
you feel like
I
nauseous in the
never had
morning.
breakfast. Yeah, absolutely. I
Mm,
would wake up in the morning, feel really nauseous. And I'm not sure if that was to do with a wee bit of feeling sleepy still in the morning, where I don't really feel that anymore.
mm,
I used to not have breakfast and I wouldn't eat until lunchtime. So I wasn't eating till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, especially when I was working, because I felt so sick in the morning. But now I'm waking up in the morning, I'll take my medication first thing and then I'll wait a good hour before I eat breakfast, and but I'm ready for it. Like I'm hungry.
mm.
My tummy starts rumbling, I'm ready to eat something. So to start with, it was quite hard. And I think any time that I'd had breakfast before, I'd probably have a sweet breakfast as well. Maybe like toast and jam or a croissant with chocolate or like literally things like cereal. Like I don't have anything like that anymore. Savoury breakfasts I thought were going to be a struggle, but actually now that I've got used to it, that's what I
Mhm.
have in the morning. I've never have a sweet breakfast anymore. It's always just savoury. I'm sure the pancakes will creep in there every now and then at some point, but
Yeah, but look,
but
like I am addicted officially to the Dutch baby, that recipe
oh
is
yeah.
working, and
Hmm.
it is once every couple of weeks, usually sometimes
Yeah.
every week. If I'm a bit, if my body is just like Dutch baby. My phone is even Siri is sending me reminders every Sunday that it's the Dutch
Yeah.
time now. But I think that's absolutely fine. I don't
Hmm.
see it as this black or white mentality where if we want to be, if you want to be done with the sugar addiction, that means that we can't touch sugar ever again. This is very
Hmm.
different to, like, other.
Yeah.
It's like I feel that we can really heal that past of this
Hmm.
dysfunctional kind of eating patterns, and
Hmm.
still have those treats as a part of a very healthy relationship with
Yeah.
food, and find
Hmm.
sort of comfort and pleasure in eating.
Yes.
There is nothing
Hmm.
wrong with a little bit of a comfort eating if we know and if we are making that decision, consciously rather than
Yeah.
just on the autopilot.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you said that, because yes, I think what you were when you were saying about the, like feeling a little bit nauseous in the morning, that is very
Hmm.
often a sign of, yeah, perhaps not being fully awake, but hormones. So things like
Hmm.
leptin resistance, for example, that all suppresses that hunger. Then we don't eat anything until lunchtime. We call it intermittent fasting. And then we basically eat all the things in the afternoon. And it's like this cycle because we can't sleep well because we've eaten too late. So healing that, I think, has changed a lot for you. And then
Oh,
those
absolutely.
hormones. And now, the body is like, okay, I'm awake. Where
Mhm.
is my energy supply? So that is
Mhm.
how it should be done.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me how, I know you've already told us quite a lot about that, but how are you doing today? If you were to summarize, how are you feeling now compared to, I don't know, because it's been a while. It's been what, 6 months now, 7 months? So if you were
Yeah.
to a year ago.
Can't believe how fast that's actually gone in. But yeah, so the best way for me to describe it is I feel more at home in my body more than I did way back before I was even diagnosed, having been subclinical. Like I feel more at home than even before then. I feel more energized. I feel motivated. I feel like I can. So you were saying about doing the fasting, like so that's something I want to do moving forward. I'm going to try to do a sugar-free challenge for a bit longer
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and do one for 3 weeks during November,
Yeah.
and fasting I'm going to try that as well. So I feel like since the Undiet course, I'm more motivated to keep going. Whereas
Mhm.
before, I think when you do other things like other exercises and diets and things, once you've stopped, you stop, and then you start reverting back to things. Whereas I'm actually really keen to keep going and
Yeah.
delve deeper and see what else I can do. I feel like my body is in the best place it's been in a long, long time. And I know that there's still work that I can do to help it get more, but I definitely feel like things like my brain fog's lifted, inflammation's starting to go down in my body. I'm losing weight. It's never, as I say, it's never creeps back up at all. Whereas I've seen that before. I've stopped doing a diet and then your weight comes on even more so than it was before. It's never done that. My fatigue's gone. So as I say, I used to get that really bad afternoon slump. I never get that anymore. I feel like my energy levels have really leveled out. Even things like going to the gym, I'm not working out as much as I used to, which I would have thought before, gosh, I need to work out even more. But now I'm going to the gym 3, 4 times a week and I'm doing one thing, like I'm there and I'm leaving. I've still got energy left in the tank, but I feel like I've had a good workout at the same time. Like I'm not leaving feeling absolutely drained. Like everything just feels so much better. And as I say, I feel more comfortable in myself. I feel more comfortable around food too, where, as I say, I'm a chocoholic. I could easily eat a family bar of chocolate by myself, but now I'll have a bit and I'll be satisfied with that and know, right, I've had enough. That's me. I don't need any more. Um, so yeah, it's everything feels totally different now, and I know that moving forward, I can do more things like a bigger sugar-free challenge, or I can do the fasting, like because my body can do it and I've done it before. So I feel a bit more empowered as well, where like I'm in charge, like you say, like I'm in charge of my body and I know what's good for it and I know that I can look after it better. So yeah.
Yes, amazing. So what would you say to someone who's on the verge? They kind of been thinking, shall I eat enough?
Mhm.
Shall I not? Like, is it going to be different? Is it going to be the same thing all over again?
Oh, anybody that's thinking about it, stop thinking and just do it. Like sign up, get it done. Go in with an open mind. You'll honestly your body and your mind, everything changes completely. It's amazing that you think it's a couple of months, but it changes so much for you. Everything you've done before, it'll work for a little while, but then it goes back. This, I genuinely feel like nothing's gone back. There's some things that maybe I can be like, right, when I get up in the morning, I've maybe looked at my phone when like maybe I shouldn't do it, but there's nothing the same as what you would do in other courses, do you know, or any other diets or anything. It's really something that's going to definitely make a difference for you, and you'll start telling everybody else about things as well. So as I say, I tell my friends all the time, like, yeah, when you get up in the morning, like look up at the sky, like, do you have blue light glasses? Why are you not wearing them at night time?
Oh, it's amazing. I love
On your phone scrolling TikTok for an hour, like get your blue light glasses on, get some nice music, don't be looking at your screens. Like everything that you do, it becomes a thing you just do. So don't even think about it anymore either. So I
Amazing.
think we're always really bad because we see all these different diets and we see all these different things and we think, right, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try that. But the reason why we keep doing that is because nothing's working,
Yeah.
nothing sticks. I feel like doing the Undiet course, because it's more than just a diet thing, like a weight loss course, it's things that you can do all the time and you will continuously because it becomes a habit for you. So your morning routine becomes your habit, your evening routine becomes a habit, your eating becomes more habit, like what you're putting on your plate becomes a habit. So you get used to it as well and you start finding other ways of coping with things that don't involve using food as your thing, and that you can start using food as your like as something that you can enjoy and not something that needs to help because you're really stressed. Like you can look at different ways of coping with that as well. So yeah, just get it done. You
Amazing.
won't
Thank
regret
you
it.
so much. That is amazing. I am so happy and proud of you. Like, I hope that you realize that everything that you've achieved is like your hard work. Like the
Mhm.
commitment to this process is really like honestly amazing. And I'm so happy that you are spreading the knowledge and the like sharing this with other people because this is how we heal collectively, like
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
to do my courses or whatever, but like then you go and you share it with your loved ones and your friends
Mhm.
and your community. So that is amazing, and I honestly I am very much looking forward to following your journey as you
Yeah.
continue on as we do. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute
Thank you.
and yeah, I'll speak to you shortly.
Yes, I know. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.